Welcome to WDW Escape, brought to you by WDW Magazine. Our festival of spooky stories in celebration of the Boo to You issue of WDW Magazine continues this week with This is Halloween, A History of Haunting the Magic Kingdom by Rain Blanken, which first appeared in issue 85, October 2020. Now this is last October's issue, so please remember that references to this year mean last year. For all the newest news, pick up our Boo to You issue or stop by the WDW Magazine blog. Always fast, free, and fun. I won't be shoving my fist into a cauldron and pulling out a wad of popcorn. I won't be throwing shade at Hades while dressed like Megara. I won't be singing along with the Sanderson sisters, and I won't be convincing myself that the Oogie Boogie meringue was worth the price. There won't be a big Halloween bash at Walt Disney World in 2020. Hard to imagine, right? But believe it or not, this isn't the first time. Relatively speaking, Halloween is one of the newer celebrations at the parks. At Magic Kingdom, the delay for the big Halloween bash was partly due to the times. Halloween was just approaching commercial popularity in the 1970s, and due to the condition of Main Street USA. Back in the 70s, Main Street was decidedly, 4th of July. America on Parade came through the streets each day to patriotic fanfare, with Mickey and friends sporting red, white, and blue. It didn't exactly set a spooky scene. For decades, each autumn would see more of the same Independence Day spirit, without the familiar Mickey jack-o'-lantern lamps lining our walk to Cinderella Castle. But Disney found a little bit of room for Halloween in 1972. On October 28th and 29th of that year, Magic Kingdom hosted Halloween Weekend. That's 2 days. A far cry from the 36 Mickey's Not-So-Scary Halloween Party dates in 2019. Advertisements for the event promised complimentary admission to Haunted Mansion, then a ticketed attraction, for guests 17 and under, a spooky character parade with the Wicked Witch as the Grand Goblin, screenings of The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, and free posters for the kids. Halloween weekend celebrations continued in this manner for the next few years. When the Lake Buena Vista Shopping Village, now Disney Springs, opened in March of 1975, Disney got creative with ways to encourage guests to peruse the 29 shops and eat at the 4 restaurants. Guests were invited to join the Village Halloween Party, which conveniently included trick-or-treating from shop to shop and a costume contest. In 1976, Magic Kingdom hours extended for the first time at the Saturday night of the World Halloween Party. Resorts also participated in some trick-or-treating and Halloween activities. This same year, the complimentary Ballroom of the Americas hosted a Halloween party for guests. Magic Kingdom wrapped up the 70s with the first hard-ticketed Halloween party at Magic Kingdom. On October 27, 1979, Halloween Hysteria kicked off after regular park hours at 9 p.m. and lasted until 1:30 a.m. This wasn't a new concept for Magic Kingdom. Since opening in 1971, the park has hosted after-hour parties for New Year's Eve and Valentine's Day. Halloween Hysteria cost $9.99 at the gate, or $8.95 in advance. Yep, that's including tax. The party included performances on the Tomorrowland Terrace stage, including then-favorite Dr. Hook, and a little band that had just formed 2 years earlier, The Police. And that was it. For over a decade, Halloween subsided into modest merchandising release and occasional trick-or-treating and costumed activities at the resorts, including another party at the Contemporary in 1989. We likely have this era to thank for the tradition of over-the-top Halloween decorations and the golf cart parade at Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground. Without official Halloween parties for guests to attend, campers got increasingly creative over the years, with festive campsite decor and activities. It's now a can't-miss part of Halloween at WDW. Not to get all Jack Skellington on you, but we can't talk about Halloween without first talking about Christmas. In 1983, the Magic Kingdom hosted the first Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. Unlike the short-lived Halloween Hysteria, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party celebrated with guests for years to come, growing from just 2 nights that first year to 7 nights in 1995. The success of Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party was a lucrative proof of concept. Holiday parties were not just a light distraction at Walt Disney World. guests began to plan their vacations around the celebrations. Then CEO Michael Eisner, in his eternal quest to add new guest experiences to the parks, took note of the popularity of the Christmas celebrations and what was happening just down the street. Universal Studios had seen a growing fandom surrounding its Halloween Horror Nights since starting as Fright Nights in 1991. Eisner left the zombies and killer clowns to Universal and approved a more family-friendly Halloween event for the Disney parks. I love that, unlike previous Halloween celebrations, the first Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party happened on October 31st. In 1995, the ticket price was just $16.95 for both children and adults. Compare that to the 2019 Halloween night price of $149 for adults and $144 for children. To be fair, the party and inflation have come a long way since that first Halloween. At the first Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, Disney invited guests to wear costumes. They enjoyed trick-or-treating around the park and met characters dressed up in special Halloween attire. In 1997, the event grew to 2 nights and included, for the first time, Mickey's Boo to You Halloween Parade. You can still witness the early days of the Boo to You Halloween Parade on YouTube, thanks to old home movies which feature the ghosts of floats we'd never see again, and the undead remains of those we recognize today. Much like today's parade, the Disney villains float carried the likes of Jafar, Captain Hook, and Maleficent, but they were busting a sick rap. And was that the Queen of Hearts wailing on a keyboard guitar? I've never laughed so hard in my life. Get it, girl! The pirate unit of the parade has always represented Peter Pan and the Pirates of the Caribbean. Captain Hook and Mr. Smee had once crewed the ship, but there must have been a mutiny. Captains Jack and Barbossa now stand on deck when Smee and Hook fend off Lost Boys in the streets. Tinkerbell separates the two warring factions by adorably riding atop an overflowing treasure chest mini-float. In earlier incarnations of Boo to You, Cruella de Vil stalked down the street. In a surely misguided effort at realism, she eyed a wheeled cage with 4 very real, scared, and barking Dalmatians. They were retired from the parade in 2005, when we instead saw a much more relaxed Bloodhound leading a very frightened Haunted Mansion gravedigger. The Haunted Mansion float was much like the one we have today, complete with gravediggers dragging those shovels, but used to be led by Chip and Dale in rather unconvincing ghost costumes. Since then we have seen variations on the theme, including the addition of Madame Leota and a new leader for the Waltzing Dead. The Spectral Bride materialized in 2019. Floats you may recognize today have undergone a few changes. Splash Mountain characters left in favor of Clarabelle Cow on the silo and barn floats in 2013. And the Goofy's Candy Company, love that merch tie-in, Bubblegum Machine, swapped to a Wreck-It Ralph theme in 2014. A sadly bygone float was a Hercules-themed crag of rock that featured the Muses solemnly crooning in front of Hades, while huge glowing Hydra puppets snarled at the crowd. Other defunct Boo to You floats include a towering 100-acre wood tree, retired in 2013, the evil witch crone mixing up a smoking brew, and a forgettable giant grinning jack-o'-lantern. The trick-or-treat locations, food offerings, and merchandise have varied through the years. Well-earned prizes for enthusiastic trick-or-treaters. The costumes of both adults and children in attendance have grown increasingly creative and elaborate since the party's inception. We've seen everything from a code 2319 from Monsters Incorporated, yep, that's a sock stuck to the back of a shirt, to a complete cardboard replica of a Skyliner gondola. Dressing up has always been a part of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, and just like us, Mickey and Minnie put careful thought into their costumes. Their adorable get-ups have included Scarecrow and Cowgirl, Jester and Witch, and Vampire and Fairy. One feature of the After Hours party is short lines for all attractions, and in 2018, 2 rides received spooky enhancements. The first was a pitch-dark ride on Space Mountain to freaky upbeat tunes. Sounds dreadful, but that haunted track terrorized my daughter more than any ghost could. I smartly waited outside to attend to my Hades nachos. Over at Pirates of the Caribbean, a few scruffy swashbucklers interacted with guests. The Hunt for Gunpowder Pete backstory had pirates accosting and questioning guests, both in the queue and within the ride. Around the park, Character greetings have included rarely seen villains available for photos, including those in the Boo to You Halloween Parade and crowd favorites Jack and Sally. Since the early days of Mickey's Not-So-Scary Halloween Party, the Cadaver Dans have entertained guests with their spooky a cappella stylings. Various dance parties, including one that was held in Ariel's Grotto hosted by Chip and Dale, have kept guests boogieing through the years. The Disney Villains Mix and Mingle show was held on the Cinderella Castle forecourt stage in the early years of Mickey's Not-So-Scary Halloween Party, with meet and greets available afterward. But in 2015, the much-loved Hocus Pocus Villain Spook-tacular replaced this show. In it, the Sanderson sisters, assisted by Dr. Facilier and other assorted Disney villains, attempt to cook up a nefarious Halloween celebration each year. By 2004, Mickey's Not-So-Scary Halloween Party had worked its way up to 14 dates, earning a bit of nighttime spectacular. A revival of the Fantasy in the Sky fireworks show, the long-running nightly show had just been replaced by Wishes, was interrupted by the Evil Witch as she presented a 3-minute Halloween-themed finale. The Night on Bad Mountain ballad from Fantasia boomed. Ghosts streamed up the castle walls, and the Evil Witch flailed at guests atop a turret on Cinderella Castle. The next year, Happy Hallowishes, a grim-grinning ghost spooktacular in the sky, treated guests to a new show exclusive to the party. It started with ominous Haunted Mansion notes and included danceable melodies from Ursula, Oogie Boogie, Scar, and a few heffalumps and woozles. The big upbeat finish was hosted by Jack Skellington and a chorus of "This is Halloween." But Jack didn't stop there. Just last year at the 2019 Mickey's Not-So-Scary Halloween Party, the Pumpkin King came forward to deliver his Halloween greetings in person. At the new Disney's Not-So-Spooky Spectacular show, a shockingly lifelike puppet of Jack dominates the stage. As scary and tall as you'd imagine Jack to be in real life, he tells the story of Mickey and friends on a Halloween adventure that plays out like a seasonal cartoon short. By 2007, Mickey's Not-So-Scary Halloween Party was in full swing. It had expanded to 20 nights a year, and then hovered under 25 nights for about 7 years. We're up to 36 creepy nights now, and the season is only getting longer. In 2018, the party had crept into the last days of August for the first time, and just last year, the first night of the party was on August 16th. Forget Christmas in July. This is Halloween in August. Or maybe July next year. Cut to me in complete bliss drinking a hot pumpkin latte in the summer Florida heat. Anything for Halloween. We may not have Mickey's Not-So-Scary to celebrate this year, but looking back on a history bursting with spooks and haunts, all I can think is, like a jack-o'-lantern lamp on Main Street, next year is gonna be it. Folks, before I let you go, I need to remind you that WDW Magazine has loads of Halloween tricks and treats for you to enjoy, including the issue this story was taken from, as well as our special Haunted Mansion issue, Haunted Mansion collectible buttons, and more to delight every Disney lover. Visit shop.wdwpublishing.com today. You have been listening to WDW Escape, brought to you by WDW Magazine. When you need more Walt Disney World in your life, WDW Magazine has you covered. Beautiful photography, entertaining articles, and stunning keepsake issues you will enjoy time and time again. Subscribe to WDW Magazine and escape with us every day.